Welcome to today's episode of Power FCB with much more news here concerning Football Club Barcelona in the past 24 hours, most especially with the news regarding Lionel Messi confirmed deal by La Liga to Barcelona, and Javier Hernandez himself speaks about all the players linked to Barcelona this summer. It's big, it's unbelievable, it's a nice feeling for Barcelona's fans all over the world. And before we move on, I hereby wish and request you to subscribe to this new channel in the Barcelona news world. This is Power FCB in this road to 1,000 subscribers, and more important, give a like down below, and don't forget to at least give a comment under the comment section down below. And now let's jump straight into the news, because Lionel Messi's father, George Messi, reportedly called La Liga in person and inquired about the possibility of Lionel Messi joining Barcelona. There were a lot of concerns and unrest within Messi's outrage, most especially now that Lionel Messi will not continue at Paris Saint-Germain next season. Saudi Arabian biggest offer ever in the sporting world is still on the table for him, and again together with the biggest commission for both Lionel Messi's agents, that is George Messi the father and Messi's brother. And again, Messi's heart and the desires of his family is to come back to Barcelona. And now this pushed George Messi, the agent, to consider all the options on the table, since he's the one responsible as the agent. And of course, he had to start with Lionel Messi's desires, and that is in Barcelona. Now with Barcelona's financial fair play saga with La Liga, George Messi himself had to contact La Liga, and apparently it is now reported that later on La Liga called George Messi himself and assured him that the viability plan presented by Barcelona to them is already approved. Now it's already approved, and now it's waiting for the right time to make it official, so as to allow Barcelona to sign not only Lionel Messi but also other players. Barcelona have already set their eyes on the market, provided that they are within the financial fair play. Sport also added that George Messi has given Barcelona 10 days to give the official contract proposal to Lionel Messi. However, Barcelona are confident that they will already have their green light from La Liga early in the next week. Gerard Romero, the transfer journalist who is most trusted when it comes to Barcelona news, also adds that Lionel Messi has already enrolled his children back to their former school in Barcelona and are ready to go back to Barcelona together with his family. And the percentage of Messi going back to Barcelona has already increased from 70% to 80%, which is currently music to our ears. Remember what Xavi Hernandez said recently. He said that Messi returning back to Barcelona depends on him 99%. Does this mean that maybe Javier Hernandez is aware of something, or is aware that the viability plan is already done, deal, and now everything depends on Messi? However, George Messi himself in an interview denied the rumors that links Messi to Saudi Arabian offer, saying that up to date there is no agreement yet with any other club, that the media using Lionel Messi to sell the news as always. Xavi Hernandez himself had an interview with Mundo Deportivo, that's MD, and he talked about all the possible signings. He talked about Lionel Messi, Gundo Bernado Silva, Joao Cancelo, Yannick Carrasco, Ruben Neves, Jules Koundé, Rafinha, and Ansu Fati. He said in an interview, Xavi clarified all the players linked to Barcelona, and when asked about Lionel Messi, Xavi said that he's 100% welcoming Messi back to Barcelona and everything will be clear next week. He says that nothing has changed. Barcelona have chances, and once Leo back, it's up to Messi to decide. He went further with an interview with the MD, and he was asked about Ilkay Gundogan possible arrival at the club. Xavi answered that every player Barcelona wants to sign, they have already talked with, and there is no single player who have said no to them, including Ilkay Gundogan himself, and no one has told Barcelona that they prefer another club. My goodness, things are happening. When asked about Martin Zubimendi and Joshua Kimmich, he answered that both Zubimendi and Kimmich are top players in their position. Of course, Kimmich has a long contract at Bayern Munich, so the only chance they would have to negotiate with Bayern Munich, and this depends on Bayern Munich 100%. Xavi again was asked about Bernardo Silva. He went ahead and said that yes, Bernardo Silva was tempted by joining us last summer. It's normal, players are always open to join Barcelona. Bernardo will be an excellent signing, obviously. That will be fantastic, but he is a Manchester City player. It's very difficult. After that, Javier Hernandez was asked about the incoming Ruben Neves signing and was questioned on Ruben Neves about Ruben Neves not being his priority. And Xavi answered that, well, he's a good player, will adapt to our style, we'll see. We have different names, we have plan A, we have plan B, and we have plan C. He was immediately asked about the Brazilian superstar Victor Roque, but said, as of now, a striker is not a priority. We need a top replacement for Sergi Busquets. For sure, the pivot signing is a priority. My goodness, I have a feeling that Javier Hernandez wants to go for Joshua Kimmich from his statement of having a top player to replace Sergi Busquets in the pivot position and the need for Barcelona to negotiate with Bayern Munich for Joshua Kimmich. Have an eye on that. We need to have a third eye on Joshua Kimmich. The interview further went ahead and he was again asked about a player who is again heavily linked with Barcelona, and that is the Belgian Yannick Carrasco. He said that we have an option clause to sign Yannick Carrasco this summer. It was negotiated by Matteo Alemany, so we will see. It depends again on next week viability plan to be approved by La Liga. I mean, Barcelona fans should keep an eye on next week because next week it's going to be big. At the beginning of next week, let's say on Monday, we'll have to see about this viability plan and the green line from La Liga. And again, Xavi added that he liked Carrasco a lot, but he can't add anything more about Yannick Carrasco. When talking about Yannick Carrasco, remember, a day ago, Atletico Madrid manager Diego Simeone himself talked about Yannick Carrasco. He hinted his move to the Camp Nou by saying this: Yannick Carrasco has an opportunity to join Barcelona, which is a great opportunity for him. I want the good players to stay, but if they leave, I thank him for everything. Again, Barcelona have an option to 20 million euros to sign Yannick Carrasco. Xavi again added about Barcelona, about the possibility of signing Joao Cancelo on January last winter. And Xavi again added that Barcelona wanted to sign Joao Cancelo on loan back in January. The player was offered to them, but later Manchester City informed them that they did not want Cancelo at Barcelona, and they did not give a reason either as to why. Xavi talked about the rumors linking Jules Koundé away from Barcelona. He went ahead and said that, and I quote, "There is no problem with Jules Koundé whatsoever. Me and Koundé himself said it. He's a centre back. It's logical that he wants to play at centre back. If at my time they would have put me as a striker, I would prefer to play in the midfield." Javier Hernandez also talked about both Rafinha and Ansu Fati and said that Rafinha is not for sale. He will stay at Barcelona. He likes him a lot and is not on for the market this summer. On Ansu Fati, Xavi said that he likes Ansu Fati a lot. Nothing yet is decided, and the actual things will begin to be observed in the next week. My goodness, I mean, Xavi's interview with Mundo Deportivo was one of the most entertaining, and it showed clearly the players that he wants. Talk of Lionel Messi, Ilkay Gundogan, Joao Cancelo, Bernardo Silva, though it's very hard. He ruled out Bernardo Silva basically, but nothing is official yet. He wants to sign Carrasco. He wants to sign Joshua Kimmich. I mean, he wants to sign Joshua. He never talked about Zubimendi a lot. That raised eyebrows. Why? Now he's not about even talking about Zubimendi. He's talking about the negotiation of Bayern Munich and Barcelona. Now, going on into other more transfer news, that Ruben Neves will be a Barcelona player in the coming days. He will be the Barcelona's first sign this summer. Gerard Romero reports that Ruben Neves signing will be sooner rather than later. Now, talking about the departure and economic troubles in Barcelona, is that Ferran Torres is also on the list of the players that will be shown the door this coming summer. Though Ferran Torres does not want to leave Barcelona, he wants to convince the club that he will perform in Barcelona during the preseason, but the club thinks otherwise and wants him out of the club. Barcelona expects around 30 million euros for Franck Kessie for Frank Kessi's sale, and Inter Milan is the current club that have expressed much desire in the player. Though Inter Milan cannot pay the full fee, they can only offer players in return, and thus making the transaction more difficult for Barcelona in the viability plan of trying to sell fast before they buy. Jordi Alba is currently considering a move close to his home, that is in Spain, and Atletico Madrid are still considering a move for Jordi Alba. Inter Milan and Benfica are also on the way to sign Jordi Alba. Alba may as well accept a big offer from Saudi Arabia. Up to that point, we come to the end of today's episode of Power FCB, and I once again request you to subscribe to this channel and give a like and comment down below. And remember, you guys, to stay tuned for more updates. Remember, this is gonna be the craziest summer transfer in Barcelona's transfer history, as said by Matteo Alemany himself. And now, let's meet in the next episode, and let me know whether you enjoyed today's video under the comment section down below. Visca Barça, Visca Catalunya.